So we assume that some people may not be ready to move their whole organization over in one hit. So we've done two pathways. Pathway number one, you keep your current CRM and you upload all your stuff into Billy that you want to be sitting in that SIL compliance space. I think that some providers will do that as a transition type arrangement. I don't think many will. I think most will just roll their whole business into Billy or Gean and be done with it. But there is a way that you keep your current CRM, export your CSV billing, file notes, and incident records. We would review the evidence, flag the gaps, support the billing, and do all the stuff in the managed service that we would do normally, right? That's inside Billy. The other way is that you just go 100% Billy, and the CRM Gean is all built into that Billy operational platform. So you've got all your rostering, your file notes, your worker compliance captured in Billy, your gates, flag or block rostering where evidence is missing, billing evidence generated from the workflow and stronger audit trail than scattered files, which we all know is an issue. So both the pathways require the same worker participant billing and compliance evidence. They just are different in the way you start to use them. So we tried to make it a little more user friendly for people who weren't ready to move their entire business over right away. You can start with keeping your own CRM and uploading the stuff that you need to Billy. So you can start light and grow as it suits at your own pace. So you can keep your current CRM, upload, as I said before, your CSV, file notes, billing evidence. No need to replace your systems. Billy helps prepare and submit the billing. We chase and reconcile and report for billing for all of our providers that are operational inside our system. You can add the Billy workflows and you can use all the compliance gated pathways. So you don't have to go 100%, let's move it all across today, which could be a bit of a headache for a lot of people. You can do it in small steps and make it a little bit easier on yourself and your team. So compliance gates, no approved evidence, no operational access. Here are some of the compliance gates we've got across the operation. So Billy and Gean support your compliance. You and the registered provider remain responsible for meeting your obligations. So if you are a registered provider, you still have all those registered provider obligations, unless you are doing an agreement with the registered provider at the back end of Billy to take over those registered provider obligations. Worker screening, right to work induction, training. These are all the gates across the operation. You've got to have the module certificates, refreshers built in. We've got to have participant consent, agreement, risk and plans. We've got to have house tenancy support separations and safety documents, all filed, all signed, all evidence that they're being used. We've got to have incident, complaint and risk forms inside that workflows are active and escalated so you can prove that they're actually being used and they're being closed out. You've got to have referral and consent gates. So all those things are reasonably obvious if you've been working in the NDIS. All that consent and recorded purpose stuff needs to be sitting somewhere and be able to be evidenced for audit. All of the billing gates, so we've got service shift and funding evidence all gated, and we've got ongoing audit expiries, open risks, exceptions, etc. So compliance gates across the operation. It's a fully gated SIL system. I shouldn't say it's just for SIL. You can use it for therapies, you can use it for COS, you can use it for community access and a lot of different stuff. But we're currently pitching to the SIL market because there's a big change. But you can use this operational SaaS program, Bily Gean, for any or all of the things that you would normally be able to, bill for under the NDIS. I think the two things we don't do from memory are exercise physiology, and we don't do plan management. I think they're the only two things. So no approved evidence, no operational access. So again, the product is built around that rule. So if you don't have approved evidence, you can't operate. If there's approved provider, you can't activate. No approved participant, there's no onboarding. No consent, you can't do any referrals. No approved worker, you can't roster. If the house isn't approved, you can't put a vacancy or roster people into that house. So essentially, if there's no approved evidence, there's no operational access. That's the whole pitch for Bily and Gean, and it's the main reason people are excited about using it.